Greetings and welcome to the Bowling Green First United Methodist Church. We hope that you enjoy what you're about to see, and you can find us on the corner of Broadway and Church Streets at 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings. Or you can find us at bgmethodist.org and on Facebook at Bowling Green First United Methodist Church. So we're getting to this time of year, and I know lots of people are counting down to things. McCoy's already knows how many days left until school is done. And I asked Adriana Ellison down at Oak Grove this morning, I'm like, how many days do you have left? And she said, I think 4. And asked her if she was ready before I could get all the words out. She said yes, because she's graduating this year. And then Brianne Gregory, who teaches over in Columbia, was sitting up in front of her, and she said, and we've got like 10 days left. She's also ready to be done with the school year. And so I know, Holden, or Hayden, how many days of school do you have left?
I hope it's only 1.
There is the best answer I've heard. I think you're going to be disappointed though. There's that one. So I thought, well, what other things can we count down to? And so, there are 43 days until the official start of summer. So we've got, that's coming up. And then I looked at another important date that's coming up this summer, and there are 80 days until an important person's birthday this summer. And no, it's not my birthday. Actually, it's my girlfriend's birthday. It's in 80 days. Mine is in 94 days. Just exactly 2 weeks afterwards, so it's easy to remember. So that's coming up, and then for those of you who, there was another one. I saw Carolyn sitting back there. Not to freak Carolyn out, but there are only 84 days until the start of Bible school this summer.
Oh, no.
Another important countdown. In case you haven't gotten it done yet, there are only 231 shopping days left until Christmas. Get started early.
You haven't been very busy.
Actually, it's a whole lot easier because I can get onto the Google now and go, I can type in, I can find all sorts of websites that will tell you how many days are in between things. So it's easier than me sitting there going 1, 2, 3, 4. That would take a while. But there are things we can count down to, but there's also things we can kind of count down from. There have been, if I remember the number correctly, 127 days, either 117 or 127 days since the first of the year. And then has been 42 days since Easter, or 43 days, depending on how you count it. And so that is kind of where we have been since then. And so of course that means today has to be Mother's Day, except it changes all the time. All of a sudden we get to May and our calendars get kind of strange. So we have graduations, we have Mother's Day, we have Memorial Day, we've got Pentecost, we've got Ascension Sunday, which is another day that is also important for today. All of these things are coming up here, and so this morning, included with Mother's Day, we are also celebrating Ascension Sunday, which is when we celebrate the story of Jesus' ascension into heaven, and it always takes place. And Ascension Day always takes place 40 days on the 40th day of Easter. So you start counting Easter as 1, and on the 40th day then is Ascension Day, which was this last Thursday. But it gets kind of lost in the middle of things. This is normally where we kind of end up with Ascension Day. We're just not quite sure of what it is, what's going on. There's a whole series of cartoons like this out there for different things. Because it's one of those that gets lost in the mix of everything that is going on. Because we'll focus on Pentecost because that's 50 days on the 50th day of Easter, and that'll be next Sunday. But oftentimes we get a lot of other stuff gets packed onto Ascension Day, or most of the time we celebrate it on that Sunday afterwards because it's hard to do things on a Thursday. But there are still some places that do this. I think John was telling me Wednesday night that the Amish still take Ascension Day as a holiday. So if you get Ascension Day, don't expect the Amish aren't going to be out anymore. They're going to be at home. And there are other churches, especially that have a Germanic heritage somewhere in their history, a lot of them still celebrate Ascension Day. And they'll have services or meals or other things on that Thursday. But we kind of lose it a little bit. It gets lost in the mix of things. But there's something important that happens in Jesus' ascension. And for me, that comes in verse 8, where Jesus is speaking and he says, "Rather, you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you will be my witnesses in Jerusalem, in Judea, and Samaria, and to the end of the earth." That Jesus is telling his disciples, this is what's coming. This is what you are going to do. You are going to be my witnesses. And in fact, in these 40 days of Easter, this is what Jesus has been preparing them for. He's been teaching them about the kingdom of God, been getting them ready so that they can go out. Now, he does say, you aren't ready yet. You'll know when the Holy Spirit comes to you, and then you'll be ready. That's what we're going to celebrate next Sunday on Pentecost. And that's why we wear red. Red is the color for Pentecost that we have. But for now, though, Jesus is giving them kind of their marching orders, saying, you are going to go and be my witnesses. This is what you are going to go and do. And then when he finishes saying these things, then he ascends into heaven. And anyway, that's the part of the story we focus on so much, though, as we focus on the amazing, crazy things that you don't see every day that happen in this story. Jesus ascending into heaven, and then kind of the response that comes after is what we focus on. While Jesus was going away, and as the disciples were staring toward heaven, suddenly two men in white robes stood next to them, and they said, "Galileans, why are you standing here looking up toward heaven? This Jesus who was taken up from you into heaven will come in the same way that you saw him go into heaven." Now this is the part of the story we focus on. We're really good at looking up, waiting for Jesus to come back. Staring up towards heaven, waiting for Jesus to come. That's where we're really good at this. But these two guys, they raise another question. Because they say, why are you staring into heaven? But then they seem to give kind of this other answer. They say, Jesus is going to come back the same way he went up. How do we figure out what it is we're supposed to be doing? And what they're doing is they're getting us to look into a different place. They're implying and they're saying that looking up to heaven is the wrong place to be looking. And then they're telling us where it is we need to look. That Jesus is going to come back the same way you saw him go into heaven. But keep in mind, Jesus' ascension is just the last paragraph of that chapter of the story. There is a whole other part of this book that comes before this that is a part of Jesus' ascension, that is a part of Jesus' ministry, getting him to that point. That's where they're wanting us to look to get us back to this command that Jesus gives, that you will be my witnesses. This is what you are going to do. He was getting them, they were telling the disciples, don't look up and expect Jesus to come back. Jesus is going to come back the same way that he went up. The same way Jesus went up was that he was born, he preached, he was in ministry, he taught, he healed, he preached, he multiplied loaves and fishes. He did all sorts of things through his ministry. They're telling him, don't look up for Jesus to come, but look here among the people where Jesus was. Look to the majority of the story where Jesus spent his time in and among the people, teaching and preaching and helping and getting them over some of these other things that they were struggling with, and helping them to overcome, to become more complete people, helping them to get over their sins and to know that they had been forgiven. Look to those places to see where Jesus is coming back from. Don't just focus on the end of the story, but see the whole story. When Jesus comes back in the same way he went up, it's going to be through the people. It's going to be through the actions that are taking place. Look there. And then Jesus says, and be my witnesses in those places. Be the ones who go and share that good news. If Luke were writing today, he may not say in Jerusalem and Judea and Samaria to the end of the earth. He might say, if he were writing to us today, he would say, in Bowling Green, in all of Missouri, and the United States to the end of the earth, you are called to be my witnesses. Dima, go and share who I am, witness to what I have done in those places. That's the challenge that Jesus gives to us. And I know that can be kind of a tough challenge. It can be kind of hard to work through because sometimes we're not going to feel real comfortable with that, or we're going to be unsure of what to do. In fact, some of the time our witness and all this may look a lot more like this.
I'll be inside in a minute. I'm going to say hey to Joe. Hey, Joe. Hey, Mike. What a really good neighbor. Yep. You guys get back from church? Yeah. Just headed the church out. I wonder why he never invites me to church. I mean, I go if they ask me to go. This is the way it is. I'm out in my front yard when he comes home from church. It's always so awkward. It's so awkward. And I'm so hungry. Ugh. I think my wife made goulash. I love goulash. Oh, maybe Joe would like some goulash for lunch. Hey, Joe. Here comes the invitation to church. Yeah? You want to come over? Sure, I'll go to church with you. What did you just say? What did you just say? No, what'd you say? What'd you say? You said something about God. Who? Goulash. You're having goulash at your church? No, in my house. You're inviting me over for goulash? Yeah. That's your goulash. Yeah, who doesn't like goulash? I like some goulash. Yeah, sign me up. Goulash. Let's have to make sure we have enough. I see you walking away.
That, I think, a lot of times is what it kind of feels like. We say we were supposed to go and witness, and then, it feels real awkward and weird and strange, and we are, maybe don't do it like they did, unless you have really good goulash, and then just invite them over after church for goulash. But there are better ways of doing that. But the key, though, is just to first make the invite, or first just begin to be a witness. And this is the good news in all this, is that God doesn't expect us to be great at it. Some people are great at it. I've talked to some people, and they are amazing at witnessing and making that invite and doing all of that. I mean, these are the folks that I kind of look up to and I go, wow, I wish I could do that. I'm not that good at it. The good news, though, is that God doesn't expect everyone to be great at it. He knows we've all got different strengths and weaknesses about us. And that's why He sends the Holy Spirit that comes on Pentecost, that we'll celebrate next week, that we recognize also as the official beginning of the church. The Spirit can kind of work on our rough edges, can work on our mangled invitations or uninvitations or whatever it is that we've gotten ourselves into thinking that we need to do. So we don't have to worry about, do we have all the right words? Are we going to say all the right things? Do we believe in all the right stuff that we're supposed to? We can be kind of a mess, and that's okay. We don't have to be perfect at it. God can still work through us. What He is most concerned about, are we making the effort? Are we starting the process? Are we working on being witnesses in whatever way that works for us? The other part of this is that Jesus says, go into all of these places, Judea, Samaria, Jerusalem, to the end of the earth. Those are all very different kinds of places that Jesus was sending them to. They're all going to hear someone witnessing in very different ways or have different sorts of expectations. We're all going to have different places that we're going to feel most comfortable in. The key is to go and to try and to find. And maybe if we aren't going to be good at making that direct invite in one way, maybe we do it in a different way. But the key is that we make the effort, that we make the try, that we let God kind of use us so that we can bear witness to who Christ is, to the help and support and strength that He gives to us. And that through our witnessing, even if it's just something as simple as what it is that we are doing, and that we are doing something that is different from what other people do, but yet it is something that is important and that reaches out and shows a level of care and concern that we don't find in other places. Even if that is where we start, God will use that. And others will come, or at least begin to see through our efforts. Our goal in this next week, as we go in through the craziness that is the month of May, because it's not just graduations and holidays, but it's ball games and parties and everything else, and the start of summer and going on vacation and all of that. As we go through all of the craziness of this month, let us go and be witnesses to share in who God is, in good ways and in the ways that we are able to, and then let the Spirit work through us, that others may come to see Him also. Let us go and do this kind of work in Christ's name.